Hey guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be filming a ton of videos for you guys talking about some of this year's holiday releases from a few different brands that I have picked up stuff from. Now, I was trying to be on like a no buy for makeup, but this is like the worst time of the year to do that because all of the brands release like all of their holiday stuff. They're always limited edition. They're always beautiful. So it's really hard for me to do that. So you're going to be seeing like a slew of these kind of videos popping up over the next few that I upload, interspersed with a bunch of my decluttering videos. So today we are going to be talking about the TooFaced holiday releases. Now I only picked up a couple of options, but I thought that even that being the case, it would still be fun to talk about other options that are available for their holiday collection. I'm filming on my camera today, which means I have my phone, so hopefully I can like show you guys images on my phone through the camera so you guys know what I'm talking about. So one of the first things that I'm going to show you, I'm just on their Instagram page right here. Hopefully it's not too shiny with my ring light. They have this gingerbread like body kiss glitter. It's probably quite similar to like the pink tinsel peach glitter that came out last year. It just says that it'll give your whole body like an all over shimmery kind of look. Perfect for the holidays, perfect for New Year's Eve. It smells like gingerbread. I did not get this, and the main reason I didn't bother getting it is because last year I did pick up the pink tinsel and I ended up like never using it and not really liking it. So it didn't really work out well for me. So the next thing that they had is this star set. So in this set, you get a bunch of eyeshadows in the middle, and then on the points of the stars, you get some blushes, some highlighters, and a bronzer as well. And I believe that the set probably came with... Yeah, it did. So it came with a lip gloss and also a mini size, travel size, Better Than Sex mascara. I will link prices to these down below. I don't know what they are off the top of my head. So if just looking at like the eyeshadow palette, it is really pretty. There's a lot of really nice colors, but Too Faced always puts out several of these sort of collections with several different eyeshadow palettes, and I only got one this year. Too Faced to me, like every year that they put out Christmas collections are always some of the cutest. I remember one year they had like that little like hotel set, which I thought was adorable, but that was really before I was super into makeup, or at least super into Too Faced makeup. And then I think last year they had the one where it had the several like 3 or 4 individual like volume small palettes that had like gingerbread cookies and stuff on it, which were great ideas for travel. Like I said, I only picked up one this year, so we're going to be talking about that one after I go through sort of everything else. What in the who? So I can see that they have this little like collection set that has a lip gloss, a Better Than Sex mascara. I'm not 100% sure what is in the palette. It doesn't really say, so there's that option as well. Okay, the Gingerbread Extra Spicy palette. I'm just trying to find a picture of it. I should have done this before. I'm kind of all over the place, but I will always trim this down if required. Here we go. Here's a picture of it. So I hemmed and hawed and thought about whether I really wanted this palette or not. And then I went and I saw it in the store. Now I have the original Gingerbread Spice palette from last year. So this is last year's palette right here. So these are the colors that you got last year. Personally, I prefer last year's palette to the one that came out this year. This one's supposed to be extra spicy, honestly, other than the fact that there's maybe a blue and like a really nice like mustardy yellow. This one doesn't scream extra spicy to me. You sort of get around the same amount of shimmers. I do prefer last year's. It's why I didn't bother getting this year's, because you know, they are similar enough that I feel like if you have one, you don't need the other unless it like really calls to you, and it just wasn't really calling to me. Another palette they put out was a miniature palette, and it was the Hot Buttered Rum. I'm not too sure if this was more meant to be a fall release palette or a a Christmas release or holiday release palette, but it's just a tiny thing. Again, really cute colors, but for me personally, these aren't colors that I don't have somewhere else in another palette, so I just didn't bother with it. And the last thing that I think came out that I did, oh no, there's 2 more things. There was this like gingerbread bronzer set, which I thought I was gonna get. I was so sure I was gonna get it. And then I decided not to. So it does come with like a bronzing powder. I don't know, hopefully you guys can see it. That has a little gingerbread man stamped on it. And you also get a TooFaced, is it a sweet peach kind of one? Yeah, it's a peach kiss lipstick in a gingerbread shade. I didn't like the shade. I did look at this in Sephora, and it comes with a really cute like gingerbread cutout bag. Super cute if those are your kind of colors. I think that would be a really good option or a really good gift option. And the last thing was like this snow girl set. So it came with, again, 3 kind of palettes in one. So you get your eyeshadow palette, you get a blush palette, and then it looks like a highlighting palette, and they're supposed to, like, I know this picture doesn't do it justice, I'm sure you guys have seen it everywhere, they're supposed to stack up and look kind of like a little snow woman, I suppose, rather than a snowman. So a bunch of really cute options that they did release this year. Now the ones that I haven't talked about for a reason, and that is because I'm holding them in my hands. So the 2 that I am talking about are the Too Faced Christmas Cookie House Party. So this is freaking adorable. First of all, I love the box that it comes in, super cute, and I'll just show you on the back. Everything that comes in the box is on the back. So you get this eyeshadow palette. Honestly, I wasn't 100% sure I was gonna get this. But when I was at Sephora, I did swatch these eyeshadows and they felt like butter on my fingers. And I was really into the color selection. There's a lot of neutrals, but there's some nice colors in there too. And I'm going to swatch the whole palette, so we'll talk about that when we get to it. There's also this smaller shadow palette that's all glitter shadows. That one was really nice. And then you get like the top part of the house is this like face palette. So you get a blush, a bronzer, and a highlighter, which is really all you need. Like, it's nice that a lot of the other collections have like 3 or 4 blushes and 2 highlighters or whatever, but that's really all you need. And then it also comes with a travel size Better Than Sex mascara, a Shadow Insurance eye primer, and a deluxe melted matte gingerbread man lip stick. Liquid lipstick, is that what it is? Yes. So I'm going to open this up and we are going to look at everything in here, but I also did pick up this Better Not Pout, but if you do, keep it glossy lip gloss set. You guys know I'm not really into lip gloss. This would have been the last thing I would have thought I would buy, but honestly, it was so, like, these lip glosses were so nice. They're so glittery, so shimmery, and I found that in the last like couple weeks or so, I've been coming more around to lip gloss. Honestly, I do have a bit of a cold sore right now. I'm sure you guys can probably see it, so it's not like I'm hiding it. But I find that when I do have that, a lipstick over my lips is not going to do anything, because if it touches anywhere near there, first of all, I shouldn't even be putting them on while I have it. But when I do, like, I can kind of put the lip gloss on this side of my lip and just smush it together, and it makes it over there without, like, getting this all contaminated or whatever you want to call it. And it's not hard, like, it doesn't set, so I don't feel like it's like cracking it any worse. So yeah, I got this set of 4 lip glosses, so we're going to be using one of these today, so we will do a little swatch of those at the end as well. So I'm just going to open this Christmas cookie set. So right on the top, you get your Shadow Insurance Primer, which I am going to be using today. I've got some of my face makeup on in terms of like a foundation, concealers, and eyebrows, and I've set it all. But I don't have any kind of thing, because I knew this was in there, and I don't have any sort of like bronzer or anything like that. Now this color, I think I saw it in the store, and I think I swatched it. Honestly, for me, this is probably going to be a little bit too dark of a shade, so I'm probably just going to get rid of this immediately. I'm not going to use it because, like I think I said during my declutters, I can't give things like this away to you guys, or, you know, to people I'm not super close with, because once the wand has been on your lips and back in there, it's already like, you can't decontaminate, or what's the word I'm looking for? Sanitize. You can't sanitize it. Okay, so we're just gonna pull it straight out. Super cute. So it's meant to look like a little gingerbread house. So you've got like the house in the background, you have the little door with the gingerbread man, and then, like I was saying, the top section is the face palette, and then they've just put the Better Than Sex mascara here. So I will be using that to complete my look today, but I'm going to use the one I already have opened. I'm gonna save this one. I like having the travel size ones, but there's no point in me using it right now because I have one. Oh, I just stuck my finger in this because it wouldn't come out. I already have a full-size one. There's no point in getting that one started when there's no, when I'm not required to. So these are all, oh, that came out of the palette. Hold on. So these do all stick to each other magnetically. So like you can see, this is just the eyeshadow palette here, but then the little gingerbread man on the door will stick to the front just like that. And then the roof also has a magnet to put it on the top. So if you wanted to display it as it comes, you could, but you can also take it apart and put it away however you will. So for me, you know, these are both going to go in my eyeshadow drawer. This is going to go in my blush drawer probably. But if you did want to display it or store it all together, it will hold itself together. So this is going to be a kind of long video if you hadn't already figured it out. We are going to swatch everything as best as I can. So this is the eyeshadow palette. Does this have a name? No, it just says 20 eyeshadows. So you get a bunch of different mattes, shimmers. There's tons of texture in here, tons of beautiful colors. This purple is absolutely stunning. Honestly, I think that this is a really fun holiday palette just by looking at it. You have a lot of your basic neutral colors to make it really easy to create an everyday look, but also to sort of provide you with a base to build up a more fun and colorful look. I could see like all of these pinks and purples being really pretty together. This Kiss and Caramel color is absolutely stunning for a topper. There is a lot going on in here. I'm really, really stoked to use this. I'm going to swatch it in a little bit. In the littler palette, this is a 6 eyeshadow palette. These are all glitter shadows. On the inside, it says, "'Tis the season to sparkle." So you get these 6 glittery shades. Again, oh, no, they're not 6 glittery shades. There's 4 glitter shades and 2 matte shades, excuse me, which I actually do kind of prefer because for me, if I were going to be traveling with this, you do, like, I will almost never do a look purely with glitter shadows. I always like to have a matte shadow, and these are some beautiful matte shades. You've got like a more pale one, and then you have a darker one for, you know, deepening up your eye a little bit. But this on the roll color is absolutely stunning. The perfect, like, all over your lid base, all over crease color to start building, and then you've got these glittery shadows. So we're going to be using kind of a combination of both today to create a look. And then lastly, we have the face palette. So you have a bronzer up here that's an extra toasty. You have this blush in Daydreamer and also a highlighter in Get Frosted. So we're going to be using this palette first because I'm just going to finish up my face makeup for the rest of the day. So I'm going to swatch it all on my arm really quickly. It's why I wore short sleeves today, so that I could do this for you guys. And then I'm going to apply it to my face. So first we're going to do, I'm just going to put them all on my fingers. We're going to look at them all. So I've got Get Toasty, Daydreamer, and Get Frosted. So these are the 3 colors here. Hopefully this camera is focusing. It's why I'm using my camera today and not my phone, because I wanted you guys to be able to see the colors. So that bronzer is a very, very dark bronzer. Would work really well for a lot of skin tones. Hopefully it does blend out quite a bit, because if it stays that dark all the time, that's gonna be too dark for me. That blush is just a very, very sheer wash of color, and that highlighter again is just a very, very subtle highlight. In a Christmas collection, to be completely honest, I would have expected them to put a little bit more glittery, a little bit more bold of a highlight in, but that's just a personal opinion. I think that if you're gonna have, you know, I guess they do have many other collections in which they have like, whoopsies, what was I saying, more glittery stuff, and for this they maybe wanted to give you just a really easy, like, everyday use kind of palette. So we're gonna pick this stuff up and finish up our face. So first with that bronzer, so it does pick up quite a ton. I hope you guys can see that. I'm just using my TooFaced Mr. Right brush, so I'm just going to take some of that bronzer and just kind of warm up the edges of my face. I'm very, I'm not picking up a ton of this bronzer when I'm doing this, because I am aware of how dark it is and how, like, much it is picking up as I do it. So I'm just taking a little bit and sort of putting it in an area and then trying to blend it out as much as is humanly possible. This is just for me. If you do a little bit more contouring, or if you, oh, do you guys see how, like, right where I put it, there's a ton of it? So I'm just making sure that we can blend that out after all. It seems to blend okay. I can see that it's still very, very dark in some of the areas that I put it. It's kind of my own fault. I did not tap the brush off. But like I was saying, if you are more into contouring or are, you know, a deeper skin tone than I am, maybe this bronzer will work better for you. But for me personally, honestly, I don't think it's going to be one of my favorites. It's just very orange and very dark for me. It works, it's fine, it's all good, but for me, it's just a little bit much. Next, we're gonna put on some of this blush. Now, I think this blush in Daydreamer is going to be perfect for me because I do like a very, very subtle blush. I'm not a big, like, over-the-top blush person. So because even though, like, the swatch that I had done on my arm looked very, very subtle, very, very sheer, I think that this is a really good wash of color. My problem being that right now I can kind of see that it is laying over top of that bronzer kind of funny, just because this is where I happen to put a ton of the bronzer sort of by accident. If you guys have ever watched my videos, you know I just sort of bronze my whole face. I'm not very good at like picking out certain areas to bronze. So I feel like where it laid over those heavy bronzer parts, it does make it stand out quite a bit more. But that's okay, no problem. It does blend out nicely. Now I'm just picking up some of that highlighter and we're just going to... So it is a very, very, I'm hoping it's picking up a little bit of the sheen, subtle highlighter. This is not blinding by any means. So the highlighter itself would be very, very good to wear, you know, any day of the week for any occasion. It's just a really light glow highlighter. So face part, do really like it. Not a big fan of the bronzer, but that's just because I prefer a, you know, more warm, like more brown bronzer than an orange bronzer. It's just a personal opinion, but other than that, it's pretty nice. I'm just going to use some of this Shadow Insurance. I've never tried this product before, but I always feel like products perform, like eyeshadows will perform their best sitting over like an eyeshadow primer that they were probably manufactured with or tested with when they were testing the product. And, you know, if you have a TooFaced eyeshadow palette, the chance that you're going to test it over a MAC paint pot is very slim. Over a NARS shadow primer, over a potion, the original like shadow potions from Urban Decay, that's very, very unlikely that you're going to be doing it over any of those. So in this case, it makes a lot more sense for that. So we're just going to let that dry, and then we are going to take a look. Actually, while it's drying, I'm going to start swatching this palette. We're going to do it all down our arm to see what the swatches all look like. I am going to wipe these ones off my arm. I thought I had already. Evidently, I had not. So like I said, the big selling factor for me on this palette was when I swatched them in the store. They are absolutely beautiful. So we're just going to swatch across the rows, take a look at what they all look like, and then we are going to figure out some sort of an eye look with this. So that first row, we have Snowflake. This is Sled No One Ever, Santa's Favorite, and That's My Jam. So in that first little section, we have got a very chunky kind of glitter. We've got two mattes, which are both absolutely beautiful, and then a lovely, lovely foil kind of a shadow. So they are all really nice. They all swatched really, really well. And there's not a ton of fallout on the palette, although with that glitter, there will be some. It is a chunkier kind of a glitter. Man. Okay, I lied. There is some fallout. Most of the fallout is from that glitter. Like, you guys can see it kind of all over. Maybe you can't. This sheet, it's coming off of my arm quite a bit because I did pick up a lot, but that's okay. Next row. Okay, so it is cream filling, icing on top, Nooks and Cranberries, and this color is absolutely gorgeous. This is Ginger Bells. Okay, something I've just noticed, some of the mattes, as you pick them up, like you can't really tell on the actual palette itself that you're getting a lot of fallout, but they kind of come off in little chunks. Not a big deal, just something to be aware of. Like I got a little bit of the, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it, like right here, there's some like two little swipes of that Nooks and Cranberries that just happened because there was a little like flaky piece that came off. Now it didn't end up disrupting the actual swatch itself. It's just something to be aware of maybe, and I think that could also change when you're using a brush with some of these mattes because your fingers are more solid than a brush is, depending on how hard of a brush you're using. I haven't been showing you this as I've been going, so we've done these 2 rows. Next row, we are going to be doing, I just stuck my finger in one, I Love Yule. It's another chunky glitter. Tinseltown, Cinemagic, and Secret Santa. So these are the 4. So I Love Yule, Tinseltown, Cinemagic, Secret Santa. Okay, let's really quickly talk about these shimmers. Oh my goodness. That I Love Yule is absolutely freaking stunning. Absolutely stunning. I really, really like that color. It is like the perfect, like pinky, champagne-y, golden shift. Absolutely gorgeous. Kind of reminds me a little bit of that Tarte Froze Chrome Paint Pot. We're just going to do the next row down. So up until now, honestly, I feel like we've got a very kind of like cohesive palette. Now the bottom 2 rows have got a couple of more fun colors in them as well that are pulling away from this, but up until then it's kind of like a purpley reddish, you know, neutral sort of palette. So it's really, really nice. You can see how it's going to really go well together. So next row we have Oh Snap. This is Don't Hate, Decorate, Get Elfed Up. And then this last color here is What a Batch. I'm running out of room, kind of, so we're going to swatch on the inside of my arm. Is that going to work for me? Probably not. A little better there, maybe? Okay. I'm trying to figure out where you guys are going to see this. Those are the 4 colors right there. Again, these middle 2 colors are absolutely stunning. There was a little bit of like that chunkiness that I was talking about with the mattes, but again, like I said, once you're using a brush with these, I don't think we're gonna notice. I'll let you know as I'm actually using them, but I don't think it's gonna be a problem anymore. So there's 1 row left. So we're gonna have Drink Up Grinches, Kiss and Caramel, Hot and Coal, and Easy Bake Lovin'. So, Drink Up Grinches, Kiss and Caramel, Hot and Coal, Easy Bake Lovin'. We'll put them right here. Oh. So those are those 4 right there. So what I will say about all the swatches, that like blue green shift color, absolutely stunning. It came out a lot darker than I thought it would in the pan. It looks a little bit more teal on my arm. It does look a little bit more like black with some shimmer in it, but that's okay. The black with the like blue sparkle in it is actually quite a bit more pigmented than I expected. A lot of times when you get a black shadow, they can be kind of what's the word? Disappointing, I suppose. Like it looks super dark and beautiful in the pan, and once you get it on, it kind of like almost swatches more like a gray. So these are the 20 colors that you get. Honestly, I think that this is a beautiful palette, very cohesive, very easy to use for every day, which is nice because if you're buying a holiday palette, as much as it is a holiday palette, a holiday release, the last thing that you would want is for it to be a palette you could only use around the holidays or something like that. It's the same thing when you get a summer release palette and they're full of like bright, crazy, crazy neon colors. Well, that's all fun, but if you can't find a way to use that palette for the whole year, is it really worth owning? In my opinion, probably not. So this I could see easily becoming a really, really one of my favorite like go-to everyday palettes. So before we start into this, I am going to swatch the small one. That way I have an idea of what all the colors look like so I know where we want to go for this look. This one will be a lot quicker. We've just got the 4 glitters and the 2 mattes. So we're going to do first 2 glitters. So we have Frost Yourselves and Miss Kringle. These are pure like glitter shadows. So I feel like you would need some kind of like a, oopsies, I thought I had a wet nap kind of thing in my lap and I ended up wiping this all over my white shirt. That's okay. Hopefully the glitter will come off. Anyway, like I was saying, I feel like you would definitely want some kind of a glitter glue to maybe do these. I don't know. I'm not a big glitter shadow person, to be completely honest. This next one is in Snow Pink and All My Wishes. They are really, really pretty. But again, I'm not big on glitter. It kind of freaks me out and it gets everywhere and I hate it. And then the two matte colors are On a Roll and Can't Catch Me. That On a Roll color is very, very, very subtle. Like I can barely see it. It almost lightens up my skin where it is. But for the most part, these again are beautiful colors. They would go really well with that palette. Or if you were more into a glittery kind of a look, you could definitely get away with using this palette on its own. Like I said you might need like a glitter glue, but like my whole arm is now turned into a glittery mess. It did stick pretty well. There wasn't a lot of movement of that glitter until I tried to wipe it off. So maybe my own fault. Alrighty. So now let's get into a look using these products. If this is all you've been waiting for, hopefully I will have time-stamped it down below. And if not, and you enjoyed the haul and that was all you wanted to see, then you can leave now or whenever your heart desires, and I will go ahead and start this makeup look. So first things first, in an effort to try and get some use out of both of these palettes, I am going to take that On a Roll color just with a fluffy brush, and I'm going to use that as sort of an all over the lid in the crease color just to have a building point to lay some other more fun colors into. So not only am I putting that in my crease, I am putting it all over my lid. That's also going to set that shadow insurance. Make sure that it is all good to go and that it will hang tight to any shadows that I lay over it. So like I said, this is just a really, really sheer wash of color for me at least, because it is almost, it's just slightly lighter than my regular skin tone. If there's any pigmentation that's being picked up in there, honestly, it could just be because of whatever was on my brush prior to using this, that would be the more likely of the options. So now we're going to get into this palette. So for today, I think I'm going to play more to some of these like purpley pink colors. Maybe with some of That's My Jam underneath or something like that. We'll kind of see where we go. So I'm going to take the What a Batch color on that same brush, and I am going to deepen just the crease up a bit. And I haven't told you guys yet, but this palette smells awesome. It does have a little like sugar cookie, I don't know if I'd call it gingerbread, because I do find that the gingerbread spice palette is more gingerbread smelling, but it definitely has some sort of like sweet cookie, maybe gingerbready sort of a smell to it, but it's not so much that it's like completely overwhelming or off-putting, which I do find of some makeup products when they're like, we're gonna make this smell like this, but then they put so much of that fake artificial smell in it that it's almost like off-putting to kind of use. They did not do that for this. It's like just the right amount of like a beautiful, beautiful scent in it. So next, I think we're gonna use Sled No One Ever. It's this kind of like mauve, dusty rose kind of color. And again, I'm just going to layer it kind of more to the outside on the lid a little bit. I'm really just tapping a tiny, tiny bit on just to deepen that area a little bit. I should have used another brush, but that's okay. Just for a nice fun effect. Now I am going to take a bit of like a thinner brush, and I'm going to pick up, okay, I want to use like kind of as many colors as I can, and that sounds like over the top, but I really want to see how these perform. And I know that I only really use mattes when I'm doing my base, but we are going to get into some of those more fun colors as well, I promise you guys. So next I'm going to take this Oh Snap color, and I'm just going to use that to get really in there and deepen it up some more. It's not going to extend as high as the other one did. It's literally just going to be a color to deepen the crease. You see how when I open my eye, you can't really see it up above, but it is there. It is darkening that area a little bit. Just like that. Okay. Now I want to try a little bit of that Nooks and Cranberries color, that dark. Okay, so you probably have noticed I've kind of switched over cameras. I don't know what happened. My camera battery was 100% full when I started this and it already died. So hopefully I didn't lose any footage. It thankfully made a noise when it was turning off, so I caught the exact moment. So as I was saying, we just got some of that Nooks and Cranberries, and we're going to pop that kind of a little bit on the outer part of the lid, like the outer third of the lid, and then also up and into that crease a little bit. So one thing I will say is that I feel like these colors are layering really, really nicely with each other. I don't know how they would do with other shadows, but I mean, that's always a test that you do kind of in time. I'm just taking a clean brush and sort of blending some of that in together, making some of those lines a lot less harsh. Just like that. So now we are going to take this Secret Santa color. I'm going to use that sort of to darken up the outer corner. A little bit more. Now initially I actually was not going to use that really dark hot and cold color, but I kind of do want that outer corner to be a little bit darker, so we are going to take a little bit of that black and just sort of dot it in a C. I did pick up a really thin brush for this, so I'm just starting it on my lash line. It is very pigmented. I'm very happy about how this black is laying over everything. And then up into just the outer part of the crease, just in like a C shape. And then again, we're going to take that brush and sort of blend it towards. So I'm going from out to in because I want that black to blend inwards a little bit and be a little bit smoother. It was just to get a little bit more of a deep tone on the outer corner of my eye. And I think it worked really, really well. So now for a lid topper, I'm going to do, I think, okay, we're going to do mainly Don't Hate Decorate across the top of the lid with a little bit of the icing on top and possibly a little bit of that Tinseltown just in the inner corner. So I am doing this with just my finger because I just find that these kind of shadows do apply a little bit nicer and you get a little less fallout when you do it with a fingertip. So for me, I'm just kind of pouncing it using my finger all over my lid. This is a very subtle shimmer. I kind of like that. Now I'm going to take that icing on the top color and go closer to the inner corner. Just like that. And I'm going to just kind of tap in between to make sure that they like seamlessly blend into each other. Now I did decide for this look not to go with any of those crazy glitters. Not for any real particular reason other than that I wanted to stick to something more every day, because as fun as like a fun party look is, and if you guys are interested in seeing me do a party look with this, let me know. I'd be happy to do so. As fun as those looks are, I feel these palettes are, these like little reviews are more valuable to you guys if I'm showing you something that you can get away with wearing every day rather than like a crazy over the top look. Because as much as I love some makeup artists on YouTube, I find that some of their looks are so crazy over the top and so unwearable that as much as they're fun to do when you're sitting at home or don't have plans, or maybe you're going out for a party, it's not something you could wear every day. And what I want to see with the palettes that I have, because I do this too, I watch other YouTubers and see what kind of looks they're doing with the palettes I have. What I want to see is a look that I can not only achieve myself, so something that's not like crazy complicated or, you know, whatever, but something that I feel comfortable wearing out every day. So I'm going to take a little bit of this Gingerbread on a like bigger, it's a small brush, but it's a little bit bigger than the one I'm going to be using next. And I'm just going to sweep some of that under my lid. I guess not under my lid, on my, that would make no sense. That'd be like on my eyeball. On my lower lash line. Just bringing some of that color down. And then I'm going to take a thinner brush and I'm going to take some of the That's My Jam color. And I'm going to put that there as well. Just for some fun pop of color. Just like that. So I would say that we are done playing with these eyeshadow palettes. So as I put my liner and I do my lashes, we can kind of talk about anything that I noticed. One thing that I am noticing immediately, there is not what appears to be a ton of fallout. There might be a little bit from some of the darker colors I use, such as that black, but for the most part, I'm not seeing a ton of fallout all over my face makeup, which is nice. I used to do my eye makeup first and then I would do face makeup afterwards, but I kind of came out of that. I don't even know why I came out of that. Like, I don't know why I stopped doing that. I think it was because if I did my eyeshadow first and then I tried to go under and conceal it, I lost a lot of the effect that I had done. Just to stick with the brand, I'm just using a TooFaced Better Than Sex liner. Normally I don't even show you guys when I line my eyes because I normally screw it up so badly, but I've been getting really lucky lately. And I think a lot of the problem that I was having was that I was trying to rush it. I was trying to get it done so quickly that I would mess it up a little bit. And I think with liner, along with anything with makeup, slower is better. Take your time. You know, do it right the first time, because a lot of times, like, if you do mess up and you try and, like, oh God, what the heck is going on here? So this is my TooFaced Better Than Sex. It got, like, really, really, like, messed up, chunky, gross, which is weird because this is new. Okay, so I'm not going to use that. Whatever, I'll just use a different one. I think I'm going to have to throw that out, actually, so let's just open the new one. Which kind of sucks, but whatever. I'm gonna have to toss that now that I can see that it's all kind of like gotten really thick, because that ain't gonna fly. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the same with anything, because if you screw up your makeup, especially for me, my biggest blunder is like if I'm doing a red lip and I don't know about you guys, but I always put on lips as my last step of any makeup look. So say I'm doing a red lip and the line gets a little out of control and you try and fix it, a lot of times you can smudge red down and into your chin, and then you've got a whole new problem on your hands. So the last step, we are going to swatch all of these lip glosses out of this, if you're going to pout, keep it classy lip set. So you get 4, as I was saying. So you get Peppermint Bark, which is like a white glitter. You get Eggnog, Spice Cake, and Sugar Plum. And I believe that these are supposed to smell like their names say that they will. Like, I don't know that they all smell the same. I think they're all supposed to smell a little bit different. So Peppermint Bark. Maybe a little bit minty, not too much though. So it's just this really, really pretty like overlay shimmer. Absolutely gorgeous. And I like that these are minis. I also really like the lids. They tried to like show like a little bit of Peppermint Bark. Oh, didn't get anywhere? No, we're good. This one is in Eggnog. Oh, they do smell different. Okay, so this one does have a little bit more of like a cinnamony taste. This is the one that I fell in love with. I absolutely love that. And as the other one had some Peppermint Bark, I think that this is supposed to look like a glass of eggnog on top. The next one is Spice Cake. It is this deeper one, but again, looks really pretty. It's on my nose now. It's on my nose. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful color. And again, I'll show you guys the lid because I think it's really cute. This one has like some holly on it with some berries. Really cute. And then the last one is Sugar Plum. I don't even know what a sugar plum is. Is that a plum covered in sugar? This one smells the best. And it's like this beautiful, beautiful glittery bright pink. And I will again show you the little lid. So that's what they look like. So I think we're going to use Spice Cake today. I just want something a little darker. So I feel like these add a touch of color without being overwhelming. They add, you know, some glitter, some fun, but again, not overwhelming. And for a lip gloss, they feel very smooth. They're not super sticky. Like as I'm putting my lips together, I don't feel they're sticking. I just feel like they're sliding across each other really, really nicely. So that is going to be this video done. This is the look that we ended up with. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Overall, I'm really excited about the pieces that I did pick up from this year's holiday release from Too Faced. Let me know what you guys picked up from Too Faced, if there's something that I completely missed the train on, or what, missed the bus, something that I should have gotten that I maybe didn't get, or maybe you didn't get these products because of a certain reason that maybe I'm unaware of. Maybe this video changed your mind, maybe it didn't change your mind, whatever. Let me know down below. I love hearing from you guys. Keep an eye out for more holiday releases to come, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.